Hi, I'm Jenny from This World Is Not Our Homestead, and this is Hannah. And I wanted to talk a little bit about preparedness. Part of being prepared for emergency situations that I haven't really seen anyone mention is internally. We need to have self-control and a proper perspective in order to be prepared for things. And we should hold on to those things while striving to be prepared. For example, if you struggle with your angry outbursts, with being wrathful, cruel, not controlling your tongue, that's gonna really hurt your family and those around you in an emergency situation. Honestly, if you struggle with that, it's already hurting your family and those you care about. And tending to that struggle and finding a way to cope with grace and patience and humility is going to be a very worthwhile thing for you to learn how to do for your good and the good of your family on the everyday, but especially in case of an emergency. And maybe you don't struggle with anger, but you struggle with fear. I'm sure we all remember, the virus and how some people behaved because they were so scared. Yeah, hi. Fear is a very powerful motivator, but it's not a very wise one. While you are working to be prepared for your family, you need to do so with self-control and a proper perspective, because we can't do everything. And some things that we wish were different, we simply can't control. In all honesty, I would love it if we were in the country and we had a well and a lot more livestock and a bigger garden. But at the moment, those things are just not possible. And if that becomes my consuming focus on what I don't have, then I will not be using what I do have wisely. And my mindset would be terrible. Instead of focusing on what you don't have and what you can't change, focus on what you do have and on what you can change. YouTube is full of videos on every topic. If you have access to the internet, you have access to so much knowledge and wisdom. You have access to the experiences of others, so that when you try something, you can have success quicker. For some people, a step towards preparedness could be as simple as learning how to cook, learning how to forage in your area, learning what plants are safe to eat, what plants are not, which ones are medicinal, which ones are dangerous. That is a very valuable skill to have. Yeah. I needed this reminder to seek being prepared with self-control and a proper perspective, because I was feeling frazzled and impatient and discontent. I don't want my children to say that these days were days of fear and stress and frustration for me. Hi, honey, you're so cute. I want them to look back on these days and say that I did well with my time, I did my best, and that I had peace and grace, and that I worked hard, but I didn't lose sight of the things that are most important. I mean, for most people, being prepared is something we do because we love our family, because we love our friends, because we love our neighbors. And another thing you can do to be prepared is to get to know your neighbors if you don't already. Have a relationship with them. Let each other know that you can reach out to each other when you need help, or some salt or sugar or an egg. The cat keeps sneezing. Bless you. I've been just so amazed by the stories of people who were impacted by Hurricane Helene or Helen. I'm not really sure how it's supposed to be pronounced, but that so many people have survived terrible flooding, no electricity and power, and they did it because the neighbors have banded together to help each other. People have access to something like a well, and they're providing water for their neighbors. They're teaching each other the skills they have, and they're surviving. And there is strength in numbers. There's comfort in numbers. Anyway, my hope for today is to encourage you to think about ways you can work towards being prepared in a way that isn't necessarily, storing up food, dried goods, or anything. It's taking inventory of how you're doing mentally, spiritually, relationally. Are you prepared in those ways? Because if not, you don't have to have money to go buy some new gadget to help you with that. It just takes time and maybe a little help from some of those around you to work through those things and get to a place of health. But thank you for joining me. Hannah, you say thank you. You say thank you. Until next time.